What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my new career mode. This is episode number 28, and also before I start the episode off, I want to say, if you can hear some background noise in today's episode, I do apologise. There's some work going on in my house right now, and yeah, it's kind of loud, and if it gets picked up by the microphone, I do apologise. But still, we start the episode off with the obvious thing happening. In the last episode, the back end of the last episode, you guys would have seen Italy came in for us and said, would you manage our nation? And of course, I stalled on it in the last episode, but you guys knew it was going to happen. Yes, I have chose Italy. Now, before I talk about it real briefly, I do want to say this isn't going to be exactly like Club and Country, okay? I'm not going to sign every single Italian player possible and make my full team Italian because it's not going to happen. So don't worry about it too much. But for repetition's sake, I've never managed Italy before. I thought it was the logical choice, managing an Italian side. It's not going to be just like Club and Country, though. Don't worry. I will be signing, a lot of Italian players because that's how I sort of do all career modes, really. I try and sign a lot of players that come from the same nation as the club, but they won't be all Italian, okay? So don't worry about it too much. But there you go. Still, we take on Bologna for the first game of today's episode here on the back of taking the Italy job. We're really happy about that. And also, this is the first career mode of mine you've watched, and basically I don't play friendlies or qualifiers, but I do play the tournaments with the country, so we will be playing the Euros at the end of the season. But the first game of today's episode is against Bologna here away from home, and of course we beat Austria Vienna in the last game by 5-1, so back to league duties in the first game of today's episode. The first goal was scored in the opening 15 minutes. Nicola Muru gets his first of the season, the left back cutting in from the left hand side, shooting with his right foot and finding the back of the net. The defence was really poor, to be honest. It was quite easy just to weave my way inside and take a shot, and it did find the back of the net. So 1-0 early on here to Torino, the perfect start for us. And in the 24th minute, a great chance to make it 2-0. Gabbiadini plays a good ball inside towards Poloski, but his shot is well saved by Da Costa, and eventually Bologna cleared the ball away. So still 1-0 to Torino, but from the beginning, really, it was all Torino. The home side weren't in the game whatsoever, and as Baselli gets on the ball here, it's a great chance to make it 2-0. Finds Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He gets inside the area, shoots as well, but again, it's a really impressive stop by the Bologna keeper, and he keeps it at just 1-0. But it was all Torino right from the first minute. That's what I like to do. Try and dominate early on, and from the corner, it's crossed in. Maximovic wins the header, but it's cleared off the line. Eventually, it comes to Muru, and eventually the home side clear the ball away. So the ball getting cleared off the line there, and Bologna escape as they are still only one goal down. And yes, I know I'm probably pronouncing the name wrong, but even so, 1-0 to Torino. But eventually get the ball away for a throw, and we win it back from the throw. It comes to Nicola Muru down the left-hand side, whips in across towards Poloski. He wins the header, and it goes just wide of the post and behind for a corner as he took a deflection there, and we keep the pressure alive here, just constantly putting Bologna under pressure. You can see in the top left, already 7 shots compared to their 0. And from the corner, Çalhanoğlu finds Baselli on the edge of the area, takes a touch and shoots, but Da Costa makes a really good save and turns behind for a corner. So still 1-0 to Torino, but really, it could have and probably should have been 2-3 or possibly even 4-0 at this stage. And on the stroke of half-time, a great chance to make it 2-0. Çalhanoğlu plays it out wide towards Danilo, cuts inside with a fake shot, gets himself inside, good chance to shoot, but instead finds Gabbiadini, and Gabbiadini ends up hitting the post, and the home side get the ball away. So still 1-0 going to the break, and goodness knows how it was still 1-0. We were playing so well, but 5 minutes after the restart, a great chance to make it 2-0, and finally we would. Bernardeschi gets what I believe is his first goal for the club. He came off the bench at half-time. There was no animation for it because he came on with another player, but even so, you see the tactical alteration there in the bottom left. I brought on Bernardeschi. Haven't given him too many chances since he signed from Fiorentina right at the start of the series, but he scores here. I do believe it's his first goal for the club, and he does make it 2-0 to Torino. And in the 65th minute here, a great chance to make it 3-0. Hong Chol comes off the bench at half-time as well, plays the ball inside towards Zardes, who also came off the bench, takes around Crespo, crosses the ball in, and Bernardeschi's header ends up hitting the post, and Bologna get the ball away. So still 2-0 to Torino, but yeah, it was all Torino, as you guys can see in the gameplay, and the home side were barely in it whatsoever. In the 75th minute, a great chance to make it 3-0. Muru goes down the left-hand side, now left back takes it round his man. He scored the first goal, crossed the ball in and finds Zardes. He shoots, good save by the goalkeeper though, and cleared away. So still 2-0. But the home side had basically done nothing in the entire game, and it wasn't really a case of would we win the game, but how many goals would win it by. And in the 89th minute, a great chance to make it 3-0 as we go on the break. It comes to Bernardeschi, who scored our second goal. He slides it across the face of the area, picks out Zardes. His first shot is the post, but the second one is turned in, and he makes it Bologna 0, Torino 3. So Zardes scoring there, it's 3-0 to Torino. So Bernardeschi comes off the bench and scores. Zardes comes off the bench and scores as well. The only sub that didn't come off the bench to score was Hong Chol. But even so, a 3-0 result it's going to be for Torino. Zardes puts the icing on the cake here, and a really solid performance. We had a great win in midweek against Austria Vienna by 5-1. That was a super performance. I was wondering whether we can match it with a good one here away from home back in the league, and we did just that. Really good result, a 3-0 victory. And as you'll see with the match stats as well, in the entire game, the home side didn't have a single shot. They were dominated for possession. We had 15 shots in total and 8 on target. Of course, scoring those 3 goals. It was a game which we controlled right from the first minute and just looked so comfortable. So a really solid win. 2 great wins on the bounce there. And Muru was my man of the match. Following that, we had our scout report. Our youth scout has picked up a few more players for us to take a look at here. A couple of them look okay from the first month's worth of viewing, but we'll just leave them for another month and see how they look after 2 months worth of scouting. And also we take on Genoa for the second game of today's episode here, the second and final game of today's episode. Genoa come and take us on here at the Stadio Olimpico di Torino. So hoping to make it 3 good wins out of 3 on the back of that fantastic win away from home against Bologna in the last game, and of course before that against Austria Vienna. Hoping to make it 3 wins out of 3 and get ourselves a really comfortable result here in this game as well. But Genoa do have some decent players, not a bad side whatsoever, but I still fancied our chances of picking up the win. And the first chance would fall to us in the 12th minutes. Florenzi finds Benassi inside towards Gabbiadini. He rolls off towards Camisa here, getting a rare start, our academy graduate. He picks out Danilo. Lovely ball through towards Gabbiadini, who strikes it on the volley, but Perin makes a great save. However, as the ball came back to him, he practically had an open goal to aim at, yet he somehow chipped the ball over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So a big miss there, and it's still goalless. But in the 34th minute, a great chance for Genoa to open the scoring, and sadly for us, they would. It actually goes down as a Darmian own goal, which is a real shame. That's the second own goal we scored all season, after having a whole season last year without seeing a single one. But even so, Darmian deflects the ball past Bernie into the back of the net. But I have to say, I really think Bernie should have saved it. There is a deflection, don't get me wrong, that's why it goes down as an own goal. But I think Bernie, a goalkeeper of his class, should have been able to adjust his body and stop the ball from squirming underneath it and rolling into the back of the net. So yes, it's a deflection, and yes, those goals are, I used to play goal myself. Whenever a shot will get deflected, it's always hard to adjust your body, but I think he should have got, more on it than just a little touch on his forearm and kept the ball from going in. But even so, maybe I'm being too critical. It's Torino 0, Genoa 1 though, an own goal through Darmian, giving the away side a bit of a surprise lead. However, from kickoff, we went forward here. Quagliarella's shot is blocked, but he gets it back, swings it across to the far post, picks out Immobile, and Immobile makes it Torino 1, Genoa 1. So disappointing to concede the first goal of the game, but already back on level terms. Ciro Immobile with another goal. What a start he's had to his second spell here at Torino, as he does equalise for the home side. So Quagliarella crosses the ball in, picks out Immobile at the far post, wins the header, puts it past Perin, and does equalise for us. That's now his 7th goal in the Serie A so far. What a start he's had, and he does equalise for Torino. In the 54th minute, a great chance to make it 2-0 here, as Genoa failed to deal with the corner. It comes to Camisa, strikes it from range, but Perry makes a really good save, and eventually the away side scrambled the ball away. So still Torino 1, Genoa 1, as we went in search of the goal that would put us in front for the first time. And from the throw, it comes to Immobile, picks out Galdino on the edge of the area, tries to place it over Perry and into the back of the net, but sadly it does go over, and it is still 1-1 in this game, and we are still drawing. But just approaching the hour mark here, a great chance for Genoa to retake the lead as they get themselves down the left-hand side with Marchesi. Inside towards Perotti here, down the left-hand side, plays it back to his teammate. Player 1-2 again. Perotti on the ball, picks out Kuka on the edge of the area, back inside towards Coffey. They keep the chance alive here. Eventually the shot comes in, and sadly for us, it's Torino 1, Genoa 2. And this guy who scored the second goal for Genoa was also one that took the shot that caused our own goal in the first half. So Torino 1, Genoa 2, but this one took no deflection whatsoever. It was just a really nice strike that capped off a really nice team moving goal. Really good passing, nice movement from the players, and a great finish as well. And maybe I was being a little bit too critical of Bernie for the first goal, but there's nothing you can do about that. So much shot power on it. It's past our goalkeeper in a flash, and it's Torino 1, Genoa 2, just past the hour mark. And a couple of minutes later, a great chance for Genoa to make it 3-1. Fatsidis goes down the left-hand side, takes it around Maximovic, crossed the ball towards Perotti here. He controls, whips the ball back towards Fatsidis for a free header, but he puts the ball over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So still 2-1, but after they got their second goal, Genoa just came alive, and they hit us time after time again. Kept on getting themselves inside. Bernie had to make a great save there to deny Coffey, and then catch the rebound shot as well to keep it at 2-1. But it was all Genoa since the second goal. We were really just shell-shocked and couldn't really defend at all. As Perotti goes down left-hand side, takes it around Danilo, having a pretty horrible game for us. Goes down left-hand side, takes it around his man, gets inside the shoot. Coffey takes the shot instead though, and Bernie makes the save, and again we scramble the ball away. So still 2-1 to Genoa as we force bodies forward here, and we're looking very vulnerable at the back. But from that we did break as Zardes gets on the ball for us off the bench. The American takes it around De Mayo here. Really good chance, he shoots from a tight angle, but Perry makes a great save and turns it behind for a corner. So still Torino 1, Genoa 2 as he went in search of the equalising goal. And from the corner, Darmian crosses the ball in, looks for Gabbiadini. It's headed away only as far as Florenzi. Florenzi finds Maximovic outside towards Danilo. Quick little fake shot, great shot from a tight angle, but again, it's Perry making a great save, deflecting the ball onto the bar and getting the ball behind for a corner, and it was how the game would finish as well. Torino 1, Genoa 2, and that is our first ever defeat at home in the entire series. We didn't lose a single time last season at home, and we hadn't lost a single time at home this season whatsoever in all competitions as well. That's our first defeat at home. What a shame. Really felt we deserved a point, but sadly just weren't good enough in front of goal and weren't good enough defensively either. And sadly for us, it's our first defeat at the Stadio Olimpico de Torino. But that does end the episode, guys. So as always, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of my new career mode later on tonight.